Hey, everybody, welcome to Pink Shade. It is TLC Tuesday. Kimberly, I am 6 years into podcasting, and I'm coming up now with names for all these things. We got Mugshot Monday, we got TLC Tuesday, and we got Pop and Bravo on Thursday, guys. That's the new regime. That's what's happening.
What is it called? Pop and Bravo?
Pop and Bravo.
Okay, I like it.
Kate Casey came up with it because I was like, I want to say like Papa Bravo, Shades of Bravo, whatever. And she goes, what about Pop and Bravo? I was like, oh, well, that makes a lot of sense.
Oh, Pop and Bravo. I thought you were saying Poppin'. And then I was thinking of Dr. Pimple Popper, who I know you hate.
No, Pop and Bravo. That's Thursday
great.
show.
That's what it is. It's pop culture and it's Bravo.
And it's Bravo. So
Yeah.
yes, but today is TLC Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And because always on Tuesday, we'll be talking about the whatever is the 90-day situation happening on TLC. Currently, it's before the 90. And for everybody following my journey, I am back in Virginia, and I arrived this morning. My dogs are ignoring me.
They're mad.
They're mad. They're mad. So what can I do? It'll take a few days to win them back over. I tried to give them lots of smooches and neck rubs and ear rubs, and they were like, I'll take it, and then I'll walk away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, Violet, since I've left, has become a full criminal. And we're trying to work
Love
through
after
her.
lockup?
Yeah. Yeah. Violet's going to be on dog love. She's become a breaking and entering maniac. She has gotten to where she pushes all the little doggy gates open with her nose. And so now there are more safeguards in place, such as chairs put in front of the doggy gates.
Mm-hmm.
But it will only be a matter of time before she realizes she can go under the chair.
There you go.
Yeah. So while I was gone, she started some really bad habits. So if anybody has a suggestion for the kind of like doggy kid gate that you can like attach, because ours are just like movable that you get at Home Goods. They're like pieces of wood and they fold, and then you can put them away, but no, it's not going to work for Violet because she's figured out how to push it open with her nose.
Yeah.
So I'm going to need like a real, she's 5. She turned 5 while I was out of town.
Mm-hmm.
And in her 5th year, she's become real smart. So
much like you in your 6th year of podcasting.
Oh my gosh. I hope everybody listened yesterday. Yesterday was the Love After Lockup finale. I did it with Keisha. And Keisha and I have been working very hard recording our Love is Blind recraps. It's about right. Recraps. And Love is Blind drops Wednesday evening, like 3 a.m. So Wednesday morning, 3 a.m., whatever, Tuesday night, however you want to say it, Eastern time. And all of our recaps will be dropping at that same time. So Incredible. 6 episodes.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I also am really ready to.
Good.
Oh, I'm reading your description of the finale of Love After Lockup because I'm an episode behind.
Oh.
Bianca and Daniel talk way too much about sex.
They sure do.
Thank you.
They sure.
Shantae realizes True is a liar again. How has she not realized that earlier?
They just got engaged. So, everything's great with those two. Yeah.
Oh, no. Christine bombs at stand-up. She bombs at stand-up.
I'm not sure that would be a spoiler. I think everybody could see that coming. I
thought maybe it would go well. Her coworkers were there and they seemed really supportive.
Yeah,
but they were, at least you have 5 people laughing at your jokes.
But you know how hard stand-up is. I think that not anybody can just do it. And if you haven't planned it or even have like an outline or anything.
She didn't have a set list going or anything. No.
She's just like, I'm just funny when I tell stories. I'm sure that'll be enough.
Oh, God. Wait, did he show up?
He did. Yeah.
He did. Okay. Well, that's nice.
Yeah. It's a very funny episode. Monday's episode is very funny. I think Keisha and I have been talking so much in the last week that we're just like punch drunk with each other. Like we're saying the stupidest stuff. I mean, I literally yesterday during the Love After Lockup, I almost fell out of the frame several times. I was laughing so hard. Keisha got on a roll about Shantae. It took me a second. Shantae looking like Arthur, the cartoon character Arthur, with the glasses that are always fogged up, and how Arthur's really an aardvark, but that makes no sense because just doesn't have a long nose. And we talked about aardvarks for 10 minutes. It was one of those episodes where I was like, we have got to quit talking to each other. So we're taking a day break. We're going to start back up on Tuesday to finish up our recaps, but they'll all be there on Wednesday, Love is Blind. And then this week on the Thursday show, I will have Dylan and Pat from Bad TV to talk about pop culture and Bravo. And they always have hot takes. They're also very invested in the Golden Bachelorette. So I'm going to try to catch up on that before I talk to them.
Gotcha.
Catch up, meaning watch it at all, because I haven't watched it at all.
Yeah.
Have you watched it?
No, I don't watch that franchise.
I don't either. But now I feel like I have to because everybody's talking about it. I get pressured.
I don't love the whole concept, which is a bunch of people have decided that this person they are going for.
Right. There wasn't a natural occurring, like they saw them and were attracted.
The show is like, you are now all in love with this one person. But you don't even know him. And like, maybe you don't like him. Why are you fighting for him?
Right. It is strange now that you say it that way. It's not like they naturally all like went to an island and was like, I'm attracted to this person or I like this person because I talked to them. No, they're just told this is the person.
Right. And that you are competing for this person.
Yeah, great point.
I don't get it.
You're a great point. You guys, if you're watching this on video, Kimberly has a new background and it is so cute.
Well, it's still coming together. I
It's
had
coming together.
a shelf that fell this morning because I had just used Gorilla Glue, not Gorilla Putty to stick it up. And we don't have our Creator of the Year statues from CrimeCon,
right?
Because well, the one they gave us weighed like 40 pounds, and like I could not take it back with me to California. But B, the date was wrong. The year is wrong on them. So they promised us new ones.
Yeah.
We've not received.
But that's going to go on your shelf there next to your logo picture.
But what I really want to do is alternate, like flip around, like constantly be moving things. So I'll have a shelf and I'll have several hooks and I can put diamond paintings up and I can, swap them with like, because I have some listener like art that they sent me. I can put that up, play around with it.
I think that's a great idea. That'll be cool. Yeah. People will see, like every time they see you, they'll be like, what's going to be behind Kimberly?
Well, I even thought of doing one of those frames, the digital frames and I thought, no, that would be distracting. Like if I'm trying to do a live stream and like I'm telling about this like murder case and everyone in the comments is just watching the pictures go by, that would piss me off.
We got one of those for my parents for Christmas. And so everybody in the family, the grandkids, everybody can just add pictures whenever they want.
I love that. Yeah.
And it's really great, but they're very expensive.
They are. Fortunately, we've been sponsored by several of those companies. So I have like 3 of those frames.
You do?
Yeah. You want one?
Yeah, I do.
I will send you one.
I do want one. We bought one. You know what? Now that you're saying this, I do believe I used y'all's code when I bought the Aura frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought
Aura,
that. It was expensive, but I had your code, so I used it.
Yeah. My parents have one. I need to add more photos to it. They love it. It sits right by their TV and like it's great.
My dad loves his. It's in my dad's little room there in their retirement place, and my mom comes in and I think they just sit out and look at it and talk about it.
Yeah. But I need to remember I have the app that I can just send new photos to it.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it when we're done because like I took some great pictures this weekend of John, at Ole Miss, and they like to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah. It's a great idea. It's like actually a really good concept for people to keep in touch.
Yeah. And I'm sure one day they'll be like $7 at Walmart, but for today it's new technology and it's expensive.
Yeah.
Just like things that used to cost so much money. Now you're like, can you believe that I used to carry a phone around in a bag?
Well, I just got rid of my TV, which was $900 when I bought it at Best Buy.
Yeah.
And it was like 40 inches. And that technology was supposed to be so good. And it lasted forever. I had that TV for probably over 15 years.
Okay.
And then I just got a new one from Amazon for like $300.
It's like a smart TV.
Bigger, and it has all the stuff in it because my old TV, I had plugged in a Fire Stick, I had plugged in a Roku, nothing would work. It was just like slow and just would take forever and it would crash constantly. And I was like, I think it's time to retire this little baby TV.
Oh, well,
and I sent it out to sea and I treated myself to a new TV.
I'm glad you did.
What I'm really thinking about is because Prime is coming up.
Yeah, prime day.
I'm thinking of an iPad, which I haven't. My old iPad, I had like first generation one, and
Yeah.
I still had it, and I would play this puzzle game on it. But now it won't connect to Wi-Fi in my new apartment, and that's the only reason I have it is for this puzzle game.
Yeah.
And now I can't connect to Wi-Fi. I can't play this game, and I'm very sad. So, do I want to spend
Yes,
to
you do.
treat myself? What would be really nice is if I could post an episode when I'm, like, down at the beach. That would be, like, super luxurious because I don't carry my laptop down to the beach, and I can't post episodes to Patreon from my
You're
phone. So
you're not gonna be able to do what you think you're gonna be able to do on the iPad because I recently got an iPad as well. Because in my mind, I'm like, I'm traveling so much and
yeah.
my laptop is like it's like a MacBook Pro. It's
Yeah,
super
yeah, so
heavy.
it's heavy, yeah.
Super heavy, and so I was like, "God, it'll be great if I'll just get this iPad, and then I'll use that for notes and all this." Well, joke's on me, you can't record on it because it has to be on an app. StreamYard has an app, but it's only for guests, so that doesn't help you if you're hosting, and then, you can't whatever you can do on your app on your phone is the same thing you can do as that app on the iPad. It is all apps. Do you see what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's not a mini laptop, which is what I was thinking. Now I still love it because I can play my sneaky Sasquatch on it. I can still take notes on the plane. I can still get my Gmail and do all that and look at Facebook and all those
So do you
things.
have a keyboard? Like one of those
Mhm.
foldable okay.
Yeah, it's just like a little. It's just
Yeah.
like and you open it
Mhm,
up
like
and
a
the keyboard
folio
pops
case.
out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Got the whole
Okay.
thing. I did,
Interesting.
and I like it just to have as, like, an extra little thing. Also, sometimes when I'm taking notes this is, like, real shop top, guys. When I really, I open it up and I put whatever I'm watching here on the iPad, and then I
Yes.
have my computer to take notes instead of doing split screen.
I do split screen, and it's very hard. I miss a lot of details. Like on Dateline, I'm trying to catch all the B-roll, but my Word app is covering part of it. Yeah.
Yes, and you're always like, "Pause, go over here,
Mhm.
pause." So that way it's just rolling, and so if you wanna pause it, just pause it, go back 10 seconds. So,
That's nice.
I do watching of things on it and playing Sneaky Sasquatch, which is my game of choice.
Yeah. What level are you on at that? Is it levels, or do
There's
you
no
just keep
levels.
playing?
I'm just
You
the
just
winner of everything. You
okay,
just
I understand.
it's a town and you build it and as you go, like first you build your
Oh,
house
it's
and
a
then you like
town. Okay.
and it teaches you how to like right away like to steal the things from the campers and stuff because you have to get food. You're sneaky. You're a Sasquatch. They can't see you. You gotta wait till they're
You're
not looking and
stealing like Yogi Bear?
yeah, well you gotta eat.
Like a
You got how are you
picnic
gonna get your food? I
basket?
mean, you can go to the grocery store, but that doesn't come till later. Um,
So you have to have money? The Sasquatch can get money and go into the grocery store?
yep, all of it. Get a credit card,
Do
got a bank
people look at
account.
him weird because he's a
Well,
Sasquatch?
that's why you have costumes. So, yeah, you've costumes.
He can cosplay as a person.
He cosplays as a fireman, a doctor, like a cab
Wow,
driver.
impressive.
Um, yeah, wherever you go, you've got a costume. But the costume, this
You're
is
like
so
Barbie.
boring. The costume that goes everywhere is the ranger costume because then it looks like you're a park ranger.
Oh my
And so
god.
that if you're wearing the park ranger costume, you never get caught doing anything. So that's the first one you want to get.
Okay,
Yeah.
why are you not sponsored by them? Because
I
this
don't
is
know.
the biggest pitch, and I wanna play now. I want the iPad just so I can play Sassy's Sasquatch.
Sneaky
Sneaky
Sasquatch.
Sasquatch.
I've been talking about it on the show for like 3 years. It's like a real weirdo game for like 11-year-olds, and I don't care. I love it. That's what I did
Okay.
on the plane when we were about to land, and I had to like put all my stuff away. I got my little iPad, flipped it up, played little Sneaky Sasquatch, put out a few fires in the town. You're welcome, and went back to my city apartment and went to sleep. Called my dog, whistled for my dog. My dog came, went to sleep with me. It's great.
Oh my gosh, okay,
You get a
everyone
dog,
should
you name your dog, you have to make sure your
what's
dog
your
is
dog's name?
fed. My dog's name is Pogo because that was my childhood dog.
Oh, that's so cute.
Mhm.
Okay, so everyone reach out to Sneaky Sasquatch and try to get them to sponsor
It's on
each
Apple Arcade, and so that app those Apple people don't need me to
mm,
mm-mm. But I you know what, you and I talk about Reddit a lot. One of the only things I follow on Reddit is the Sneaky
I
Sasquatch.
love it.
'Cause that's where you get, like, your tips,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
how to get past this certain, like, situation, like, how do you get past the pharmacist when you're in the hospital, you
Oh
know?
my god.
You're trying to get those drugs and then you get arrested. Put in jail.
Is the Sasquatch stealing opioids?
No. Sometimes when the Sasquatch is the doctor, he'll make his own call and be like, you know what, I know what this person needs. They have a rash, so they need cream. So I'm going to go to the pharmacy. You go to the pharmacy and get it and walk out. And they're like, you don't have a prescription for that. Into jail. And they throw you in jail. Yeah.
Over some cortisol cream or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes the people will come into the hospital and tell
That's
Sasquatch,
too much policing.
yeah, just tell I've got the trots. The person in the game will be like, I've got the trots. And the Sasquatch, who's the doctor, will be like, I know what to get for you. Go to the pharmacy and get antidiarrheal medicine. It's telling you, it's for 11-year-olds. It's that base level of humor.
I'm dead. I need to play this game.
You guys, I think we just spent 5 minutes talking about Sasquatch, and I'm sorry. That was
And it was
Sasquatch Corner.
I haven't talked to Mary Payne in a week.
I
This is
know.
what happens.
I know. And you've got a new setup and everything. It's so cute. I'm so excited about it.
I know, like a brand new person.
Yeah. How about we talk about these people? Why don't I make a note here so people who didn't want to hear Sasquatch talk can hear us talk about before the 90 days, season 7, episode 5, Brave New World. So we're back to book titles.
Why did we make a brief detour into biblical names for our second? I don't understand.
I don't know why we went to Revelations last week. You guys, is there just a book that like written by John Grisham or something called
that's called Revelation.
Revelations? But I mean, it doesn't.
But it's not known as that. So that would be really a dumb choice because it's known as a biblical thing.
If I ever get to talk to Matt Sharp, I'm going to ask him who names these episodes.
Yeah.
We need to know.
Yeah.
But this is called Brave New World. And we're going to start with the most disgusting part of this entire show. And it's Loren and Faith. And you guys, just when we thought he couldn't get worse.
He's just become the grossest person on TLC in a matter of how many episodes. I mean, that was a meteoric decline.
It's
also
horrible.
I did watch More to Love.
Okay.
I took one for the team.
Yeah.
And I don't know if people enjoy this sort of reporting on the ground, but I did watch it, and there was a long bit with Faith and Loren. If you're interested.
And
okay, so that means you're interested.
I am interested. I want to hear because I didn't watch it.
So they are at the market still, and he's big baller American tossing down cash for $3 Croc knockoffs, and they go to a tarot card reader, and she's like, I've never done this before. I'm not sure if I believe in it. And the tarot card reader says Faith has a good future ahead of her. And we're like, phew, thank God. This is what we've all been worried about. And then she turns to Loren and she does his cards and she says, he's attractive. And I was like, him? Him?
Huh?
With a high sex appeal. This is what the tarot card reader is getting from the cards.
She thinks he has a lot of money. That's why she's saying.
Exactly. But then she's looking at the cards and she goes, he has lost a lot of finances. Has she been following them around the market? Did she get that just from looking at him? Yeah. But she says he will eventually recover it. And Lauren's like, see, I told you, it's no big deal. I'll come back up. It's fine. And then the tarot card reader says, I think he's the one and only boyfriend for you. And I was like, does that mean because they're going to get married and they are endgame? Or does that mean Faith is going to swear off relationships completely because she is so disgusted by him and she is going to join a monastery for ladyboys? I don't know.
Could be.
But she was really happy to hear that. So it's even more painful to watch this episode. Yeah. Because she has just heard that he is her one and only boyfriend.
Well, we're starting off this episode with the word of the day. And Kimberly, what's the word of the day?
Gonorrhea.
Gonorrhea is the word of the day. We're going to say it 1,000 times. And Kimberly has gonorrhea free since 1979. So I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. So he finds out that he can, if he kisses her, he can give her gonorrhea. And he says, like
he cares now. Like He didn't worry before. He was gonna sleep with her
Yeah.
without getting tested or
He
anything.
he didn't he said he wasn't even gonna try to figure out what was wrong with him, and he
Uh-uh.
goes, when the person called me and told me this, I was like, "Wow, I've been having gunk spew out of my penis, so that makes sense now."
With that creepy smile on his face as he's talking about the gunk coming out of his wiener, I wanted to barf. And
That was he's so
he's
cavalier about it.
well, that's what's weird is he's doing this, like, trying to act like he's not mad about the situation and, like, he's so amiable and easygoing. He's like, "Oh, this little thing, this, like, funny little problem that I have, this little gonorrhea and the gunk," and, like, it makes me think he's either stifling seething anger, and
Uh-huh.
he puts on this creepy smile like everything's fine, which is
Yeah.
terrifying, or he legitimately is not upset that he has gonorrhea, and that is also terrifying.
I think it's the first one. I think he's like, "Oh my god, just when I get here, my plans are foiled."
Right. Does talk about his plans a lot, like, my progress that I'm making towards my end goal, which is
Yeah.
moving to Philippines and being a baller American and being a surgeon or whatever he thinks he can do with no training because of his American ego
Mhm.
and
He's
doesn't speak the language. He's
right. He's
like,
gonna get a computer job and make lots of money. Well,
yeah, and faith
okay.
is just the conduit towards that goal.
He's so gross. So he tells us regarding the gonorrhea that the treatment takes about 7 to 10 days, and it has a treatment. It can be cured. It's no big deal. And yeah, I know I haven't like exactly told her that I sleep around, but I'm sure she knows. And this gonorrhea is not going to ruin our fun day. Let's go to a waterfall. How do you think she just knows? You know that she doesn't know. That's why you have to tell her because she doesn't know. That's
And
why
now
it's going
you're
to be a
only
shock.
telling her you're only he's like, "Now I have no choice but to tell her that I've been sleeping around." You were only gonna tell her because you got the clap.
Right.
That's the only reason. You were not gonna tell her otherwise that you were sleeping around?
I
Okay.
wonder what's the difference between the clap, which I think is chlamydia, and gonorrhea. I wonder, like, what either way, if you have something oozing out of your private parts,
It's like food poisoning, Mary Payne. That's what he says. It's
everybody
just like
has it. It's
it's food
fine.
poisoning for your peen.
It's fine.
Whatever.
Everybody gets it.
Yeah. Your
So
peen
today,
ate some bad Chinese food and, like, got a little sick.
okay. So she says she's hoping this day will be romantic and a fun girlfriend boyfriend moment. And he goes to get her in a room. She's like, "Do you like my outfit?" And then in the car, she's like, "Do you like my makeup?" And he really does. He's like, "You look so great." And she does. She looks
He
amazing.
says, "Yum, yum."
Yum, yum.
Bleh.
Well, she liked it though.
No, she
So,
loves it. It's hard watching how excited she is.
and she says, she doesn't have a swimsuit on. He goes, "Oh no." And she goes, "No, I'm not sexy like that." And he goes, "You are, like you would look great." And in the talking head, she says, "For the first time ever, I feel like a man really cares about me." Okay. So in the car, she says, "So, like at the conversation we had last night, like, are you planning to stay here?" And he said, "Forever." And she goes, "Okay, well, I'm coming to think about this. Like, if you're going to stay here, I will want us to get to know each other. And, I got to wonder, like, is this the real you? Because, it could take days. It could take a couple of weeks or a week. And then after that, maybe you can stay with me." She's basically saying, especially if you're going to be here forever, there's no rush for us to
Mhm.
sleep together. I'd really
Yeah.
want to get to know you.
Also, is this the real you? Because it's very easy to pretend for just a few days, but if you're
Yeah.
gonna be here for a long also, that creepy smile you always have on your face. Are you
Yeah.
always in this good of a mood, or is this entire thing fake?
Right, and what happens when your $46 runs out? Because it's
Right.
gotta be close.
Mhm.
So they arrive at this, gorgeous waterfall, and I think they said it was the Wawa Dam because it did look like a
Mhm.
dam and then a waterfall,
I
and
thought there was gonna be Wawa there, and I've only been to Wawa once, and it was magical experience. So, soft pretzels and, like, a million kinds of snacks.
yeah, Wawas are great. So they're close to Manila, but they're in the countryside. It's like what he, dreamed the Philippines would look like. So he's taking some photos of her and she's pretending to be a mermaid and they're going to go swimming. They go in their clothes. And I was just like, how does her makeup stay on so perfectly? Her makeup does not move.
I was like, "He's gonna give everyone in the Philippines gonorrhea by going in that water."
Yeah, I thought as
I don't
well,
wanna
like,
go
there are
in that
people over
water
there washing their clothes and you're
oozing out of your
oozing out of your
pee-pee.
penis. What he said was gunk was spurting out of his penis. That's what he
No.
said. That's what
No. No. And then
sorry,
he's going in
everybody.
the water. Sorry for
Everybody,
the drilling, everybody. I'm really sorry. There's if
I
you can hear that.
I'm not sorry about the drilling, I'm sorry about the gunk spewing.
I feel
Is what I'm
so badly for the person who was upset from Forbidden Love about the teeth flossing and
I
brushing.
know. You guys,
They've died. We need to check on that person. I don't think they're still with us.
we're just reporting, guys. We're just reporting
Yeah.
what's happening on our television.
Feel bad for us. We're the ones who have to say it.
Yeah. Yeah. So she says she loves to be in the water. When she's in the water, she feels very feminine and graceful, and she's excited, excuse me, that he will get to see her like that.
I've
And
heard that amongst trans women, mermaids are a big like power symbol.
she does talk a lot about
Bec-
mermaids, so that's
Um,
interesting.
so does like Jazz on TV. I Am
Yeah.
Jazz. She
Yeah.
loves mermaids. I think she says because like they don't have genitalia
Yeah.
down there. So it's like that's sort of how they picture themselves. I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but
No, I
it's like
gotcha.
an empowering, lovely symbol for them.
So she says, she's so appreciative about his recent honesty about his finances and hopes they can be together forever. And he tells her it's his dream to marry someone just like her. And it's nice and romantic. So now he has to tell her the truth. I have to cough again. Sorry.
He says, "You're beautiful. You're from the Philippines. You're hardworking. You're a lady boy. This is my dream." Like checklist. Lady boy. Check.
It's not like you
Which
particularly are the person I want. Yeah.
100%. It is the things that you are is the fetish that I have and my dream
Yeah.
life goal, and you can achieve it for me.
So he says, yeah, so we can't kiss. And she goes, what? And he says, I have gonorrhea. It's a sexually transmitted disease. And she just goes, are you serious? What? And he goes,
'Cause he's
yeah,
smiling.
yeah,
Why would you possibly think that he's not serious? He's
yeah.
grinning at you.
And she says, when did you get this? And he says, oh, remember on Halloween, I sent you the picture of that girl from Thailand? And she says, yeah, I thought you were talking to her and helping her. And he goes, yeah. And then she spent the night. So, and then she goes, wait, so you had sex together with her? I was not expecting this. Like, what? Now what? I'm so shocked. And she goes, and he goes, yeah, but like, and she goes, no, we've been dating each other. This is cheating. And he goes, no, we just met online. So it's not cheating because we haven't met in person. And she says, yeah,
Who made
it's
that
cheating.
rule? I've never
And he,
heard that. It's not cheating until we meet in person.
he's trying to gaslight her and be like, everybody knows this is the rule,
100%. He's such a gaslighter.
And he goes, but anyway, it's fine. It's treatable. You get one shot and it's over. And in her talking head, she said, this actually really hurts me. My hands are shaking. My heart is beating fast. He lied to me. I feel betrayed. Like, I feel like I don't know him and I feel very disrespected as a person,
Yes.
as you should,
Yes, you are.
as you should. So in the talking head, he's like, it was just meaningless sex, but she didn't really understand that I was sleeping with other people. So I do kind of feel guilty about what I did.
Yes. That is the normal human emotion that you should be having right now.
In the car, they get in the car to go back. And he goes, okay, long trip back. Nice and awkward.
Stop with your dumb jokes.
But it's your fault. You should be on hands and knees begging and saying how sorry you are.
Yeah. Also, don't have this conversation that you're going to have about gonorrhea in front of the cab driver. I
I'm
hope the cab
praying he
driver
doesn't
doesn't
speak
speak English.
English. So as they drive, she says, why are you smiling? She says, gonorrhea is an STD. It's a sexually transmitted disease. So if you get that, you have a chance of getting AIDS. And he goes, no, 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 no. It's not the same. And yeah, it is. It is the same.
Yeah,
If
'cause
you're using unprotected sex, you can get these things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think that's what she means. Yeah.
yeah, you could get anything.
You could have given me anything. Yeah.
Yeah. And he goes, so like I'm the first person that has gonorrhea. And she says, yeah, I don't have friends like this. And he goes, it's fine. The doctor's going to fix it. The doctor's going to fix it. In the talking head, she
It's like,
says, in the
I hated that you're, like, I'm the first person, like, it's putting her down, like, she's so innocent that she
right.
doesn't kn you know?
Like, everybody gets gonorrhea. Like I said, it's just like getting a sinus infection.
Yeah.
Everybody it happens to everybody. Oh my
Maybe it
god.
does and no one talks about it, which is totally possible, but she still has every right to be upset, and so all of this, like, blaming her for not knowing and things like that is so
Like, duh, everybody gets it. It's
yeah.
fine.
Mhm.
So in her talking head, she goes, in the Philippines, if someone gets gonorrhea, your first reaction is disgust and it's contagious. And it would be so embarrassing and so devastating to become infected. So that's where she's coming at it from. And by the way, if I was dating someone and they told me they had gonorrhea, I also would be disgusted, embarrassed, devastated, all of it.
Yeah.
All of it. I would be like, what the fuck? Huh?
Remember on The Single Life when Veronica's that guy she was dating had lip herpes or something,
Yeah.
and she's like but she wanted to have sex with him for the first time,
Yeah.
so they had sex without the kissing and stuff,
Yeah.
and we
Yes, we
saw too much of it on camera.
yeah, we did.
I was embarrassed for everyone involved, and I love Veronica.
I'm generally embarrassed for everyone involved when I watch these shows.
Yeah.
Generally, yeah.
These are
So,
human things that happen, like, but it's still okay to be a little grossed out by it because 'cause they're
yeah,
gross.
yeah, yeah. So she says, "So how many times did you have sex with that girl?" And he says, "Twice." And she says, "I thought you were serious about me, but you're cheating and you're lying." And he goes, "No, you didn't ask if I was sleeping with other people, and you had to have known I was having sex with other people the whole time."
Gaslighting.
And she said, "No, because I trust you." And he goes, "I didn't think it mattered because I hadn't met you in person yet." And she says, "We were talking for 6 months in a long distance relationship. It's cheating and it's alarming." And I'm so glad that she's just like,
Yeah,
"No, you're
yeah,
not gonna make me believe that everybody else
mhm,
in the world would think this was fine. I'm
yeah.
not, no." So in her talking head is very sad. She says, as a trans woman, it's hard to find someone who can genuinely love us. And that's why we don't get into relationships. No one takes us seriously. And I feel like he made a fool out of me.
Oh,
It's so devastating. So devastating. So he goes to his room and he's like, "Are you going to come in? Are you going to talk from the door?" And she goes, "No, I'm not going to come in." And he goes,
good.
"All right." And she says, "I just have to tell you, I need time to think. I have to time to think now because I'm shocked." And he says, "Okay, I understand. I understand." And then he shows a little bit of humility. He says in his talking head, he goes, "I really messed up. We are probably breaking up," with a big smile on his face. And he
And he
says, "I feel,"
shrugs.
he,
"We're probably gonna break up."
"but, I feel bad she's hurt, and,
Do you?
she sees what I did as a betrayal, and I don't know, maybe I can make it right." He's literally spent every dollar he has to get there. He has no way to get back home. He
Does
has
he
to
have other lady boys as a backup on a dating app?
he could. He very well could.
Because we have seen that before. Who was it?
Mhm. It
A
was one of the
guy
first
went
seasons, yeah.
yeah, and he went and he, like they didn't work out, but he had been chatting with someone else as a backup, and then he went with her and proposed to her.
They were in Colombia,
Yeah,
and he always wore, like, a do-rag on his head. I
yeah,
can't remember that guy's name. I can't remember any of these people's names, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah.
Mhm.
So, I think because this is his dream, and it's not about the person that he's with.
Mm-mm.
It's
No.
about the ends to a it's about working as little as possible and having American money and getting to sleep with as many ladyboys as possible. So,
Mhm.
I would not for a second doubt that he has backups.
I think that's right because he's already planning his cheating. He's gonna let her know this is how it goes. So
Mhm.
this is how our relationship we're gonna get married, but I'm still gonna fuck other people. Like that's
Yeah.
just what people do. Everybody knows.
Mhm.
Okay, let's move on to a happy couple, we hope, which is Niles and Matilda, and get away from the grossness of Loren.
Oh, so Niles is packing for his trip and he's counting things to make him feel in control, but this is where I wish his family was helping out because he is packing full size shampoo and conditioner. He has almost no hair on his head. He's packing like 2 bars of soap. Like, he coulda gotten any of this at the airport or Matilda coulda given him soap, but
Maybe it
maybe
has
this
to be
special
It needs to be specific, yeah.
Yeah, he likes his specific things. But hey, does he think he's gonna go through 2 bars of soap? How long is he staying there?
Is he staying there 3 weeks? 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
How long does soap last? I haven't used bar soap in quite a long time.
We use
Anyway,
bar soap in this house, and it doesn't last that long if you share a shower with somebody who uses too much soap. That's my husband.
oh, okay. I
Mm.
don't like the bar soap, no offense. I don't love it.
None
Um,
taken.
but the one thing I will say Niles is nailing is comfortable travel attire because he is wearing sweats, and
Yep.
that is correct.
Mhm.
So, he's so excited to see Matilda squish her cheeks, I guess,
Mhm.
squishy, squishy, and he's bringing her a necklace, but not a ring, and they're supposed to get married. Um, that's gonna be fun. So he wants to get to know her better, and he really wants his family to be there, but this is when we learn that they do not approve, which is why we have not seen any of them, and they are worried he's gonna get taken advantage of,
Yeah.
and he just really wants them to trust that he can make that adult decision. I'm sure as a parent, that's really hard, even if your child is not neurodivergent. You,
Yeah.
like, wanna let them make their own decisions, but you're worried they're gonna be taken advantage of. Do you
Yeah.
step in? What do you do? So he gets upset that they don't approve. He gets a little teary that they're, not on board. Um, he also hasn't told Matilda this, that his family doesn't approve. So that's another secret that he has. So he goes to the airport for the first time without his family. He's never been so excited and so nervous. The duality of man. I loved it. Um, but traveling is very hard for him. He's overstimulated. He's doing his soothing stimming techniques, like rubbing his temples and like talking himself down. I thought that was good to see because I get so much anxiety too. I have things that I do.
Good.
I put in watch what crappens, and then I would just like focus.
Okay.
So we finally get to meet Matilda in Ghana,
Yeah.
and she's beautiful. She's 23 only, and she is in Ofinso, Ghana, and she's carrying a huge basket of plantains on her head. And
Yeah.
she says she wanted to be a soldier growing up because they're very disciplined there in her village. And then she laughs, so I couldn't tell if she was making a joke or not. But she
No.
seems very sweet and fun loving.
She seems
And
sweet and fun-loving and kinda badass.
yeah, she does.
Yeah.
And right now, her job is helping her mom at the market selling plantains. Now, I did not know if she gets paid for this or if this is a banana chip situation. Um,
She was counting the money,
yeah,
so you wonder, okay, so when she comes up and counts the money, it's, like, for the whole family,
I
you
think it's
know?
like for the whole family. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're selling these roasted plantains for 8 cents each American.
Um, I love a plantain. I don't like bananas, but I don't mind a banana chip, and I don't mind, like, a plantain chip, but I don't just
Plantains
like
are
a
like
banana.
sweeter than bananas.
I think so. I think
Yeah,
and I feel
that's
like
why
they're
I
and
don't
I feel
love
like
that.
they're bigger,
Yeah,
so the chips are bigger, yeah, I don't know.
I
We
would
don't know
try.
what we're not yeah.
So she says it's so boring there in her village. There's no clubs. I was imagining like a dance club. And there's no restaurants. She just wants to get out of there. She wants to move to America. And her brother is telling the people of the village, like, she's marrying an American guy. They're really planning this wedding.
Yes, they
This is
are.
the disaster. So she says Niles is so sweet and sensitive and makes me laugh. He's a little bit peculiar, but she loves him. And so she's telling people in the market like how much she loves him and he's so great. And the brother says, but he sends you money too, right? And
Mhm.
she's like, "Yeah, of course, if you were dating someone, wouldn't you send them money?" And the brother says, like, Why can't I have some of the money?" And she's like, "Get a girlfriend." So, if you want money, get a girlfriend. So she's, like, describing him to the people at the market and how he's cute and he has muscles because he goes to the gym, and he's autistic. And they ask if he's a CR. I'm not gonna say the word, because I think it's a slur, but they're concerned,
Yes.
and she's like, "No, it's not like that." She says, "People in Ghana just don't really understand autism spectrum disorder, and they think it's a curse
Yeah.
even, so that's gonna be challenging." She's like, "What I know about his autism spectrum disorder is that he's very sensitive. He doesn't like a lot of noise. He can become overwhelmed easily." I really liked that she has listened and, like, learned about him and his
Yeah.
symptoms. I thought that was good, but
Yeah.
she is worried Ghana is gonna be a lot for him.
Yeah.
So she goes to the market and she goes back home and her mom's like, "Did you make a lot of money? You better have made a lot of money." And Matilda explains that they are really struggling financially because her dad just passed away and he was a carpenter. And so now they're just like trying to sell plantains and stay above water.
Yeah.
So where Niles is flying in is 6 hours away by bus. So she's going to go there and pick him up, but they're going to stay there for a few days. And then when they come back to the village, they're going to have the wedding. And she tells the mom, "So, since my uncle's giving me away, you guys have to come up with the bride price. So start making the list." And the mom's like, "Oh, we've already started. We have
Wow.
the list." And she's like, "It's going to have clothing, supplies, shoes, money, schnapps."
Yeah, it was all these like basic household essentials and schnapps. Don't forget
And
the
schnapps.
schnapps. Yeah.
Yeah. Which are basic in someone's household.
Right.
Someone has those. It's like bread, butter, schnapps on their list.
Right. Yes, that's right.
So the mom's like, "Are you sure Niles is ready to marry you?" And Matilda says, "Yeah, he better be. We've been dating for a long time." Which is kind of when he tried to broach it last time. She's like, "You better not disappoint me."
Don't disappoint me. This shit's going down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she is a little like, oh God. She knows
Yeah.
what she wants and she's going for it. And she is so excited. She thinks her life is going to change with Niles. She is nervous that Niles is going to get overwhelmed by the wedding, like the planning and the celebration. She
Mhm.
does not know the half of it.
Yeah,
This is a disaster.
and it's like the hustle and bustle of the village and all that, I think is gonna be a lot for him. Yeah.
Just that. Yeah.
And the airport is enough to do anybody in.
And then
Yeah.
6 hours by bus. I'm so nervous for this.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
I'm scared for him. She
I am
might
too.
eat him alive
I
if
know,
he
but
disappoints her.
I do think she's so cute to look at, though. She's, like,
She's
so
adorable, and, like,
really
I
cute.
really liked that she seemed to really like him and understand his personality. She
Yeah.
does, however, want to come to America. That seems to be
That's
her primary goal.
that does seem to be her primary goal, and
Yeah.
that's fine because maybe you're just like, "Okay, maybe she could come to America. Maybe they could be kind of like a perfect couple because she's sort of, like, organized and domineering and,
Yeah,
she could get a job right away because she speaks English, and
yeah.
maybe it
Mhm.
would be great."
She seems very hardworking and
Mhm.
everything. Yeah.
She doesn't seem like a scammer or a cheater so far.
No, I just think she wants to come to America, but I do think she also likes him.
Yeah,
So, I'm excited to see them in person before
yeah,
I
what their chemistry is.
dynamic, yeah.
All right, let's move on to another couple who's got lots of chemistry, and that's Tigerlily and Adnan. And they have arrived at the wedding, okay? And it's confusing, but the men are like lifting him in the air. "Wah, da, 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 da," and they're screaming, "Kiss the bride, kiss the bride, kiss the bride." And in his talking head, he says, "In Jordan, a typical wedding is very small, but mine is huge. It's over the top." We see the venue. Okay. There's flowers from Thailand. There appears to be like a white chocolate fountain. There's dudes in golden masks, of which he has no explanation for. He just thought it was cool.
I thought
There's
it was creepy.
me too. A
It's like
real
Eyes
fucking
Wide Shut,
yes. What's
but
going on there?
Trump
Weird.
style. It's just
Weird.
like gold.
Gold. Yeah. There's dancers, and then there's like video walls all over, like waterfalls as they're coming around. And he says, "I know she likes expensive things, so that's why I did this way." Maybe his family is just filthy rich.
That's what I was wondering because he couldn't make this much money from modeling.
Mm-mm. No, he's not like Naomi Campbell. I mean, he's not like a
Yeah.
supermodel, but.
But he
So,
said they're not normally like this. This isn't like an Indian wedding where they're always this extravagant.
yeah, yeah, right.
This is out of the norm for this is a full-on Kardashian wedding. This is
Yeah.
like Kris
Yes.
Jenner put this together.
Yeah. It is
Should be
really
covered by
something.
Vanity Fair.
It's really something.
Wow.
Hey,
And
y'all, my favorite place to buy anything is Quince. And I mean anything, guys. I feel like could go over there and be like, "You know what? I'm looking for a perfect dress for this wedding that's going to be 4 months from now." And you just look and it's there. You guys, they have everything you need. They have the jewelry, they have the gorgeous handbags, they have amazing shoes. And I just bought for myself a long silk slip dress. So normally I wouldn't wear something like that because I would think, I don't know how this is going to look. Well, I got two sizes. put it on, and guess what I put with it? My little Quince black cashmere cardigan. You guys, I'm going to be so cute on my New York trip. That's what I'm wearing one of the nights we go out. I'm very excited about this. Also recently got a suitcase from Quince. I'm taking that on my trip as well. I should take pictures of all these things for y'all. I'm telling you, the other day I found on there this gold necklace with a diamond in it. And I was like, putting this into my cart because guess whose birthday is coming up? It's mine. You know, they have these timeless classic guys. You can make a capsule wardrobe of all the classic items. I say you get a bunch of like black and camel items, put them in your wardrobe, and then you just have these classic things that will go with anything else you want. It's incredible. Again, you guys, that cardigan sweater I got, they have the cashmere for only starting at $50. The silk dress was so inexpensive, so inexpensive. If I would have gotten it from another place I won't name, it would have been 3 times as much. Okay. So upgrade your closet this fall with Quince. Right now, you're going to go to quince.com/pinkshade to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's a long time. That's a long time to think about something. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/pinkshade for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/pinkshade and let me know what you got. Then she goes, there are 3 people helping Adnan put on a suit. And so I guess I just wait and my place is below the man. Like moments like this make me think like, is this how our life will be as a married couple? And like, if so, that's not gonna fly with me.
Maybe you should have thought about this before you got married.
So finally, they all get out. And
Did you see the men like literally with their hands zipping up
yes,
his
yes,
crotch zipper?
Yes.
They're so handsy in this.
So handsy in that family. So they all leave. And then she's like, so now I only have like 5 minutes, and that's not going to be enough. So she starts to get the second dress on, which looks just like the first one, except for it's got a little bit more of a V situation. And Cruz is there and is trying to help her with this like second veil and all that. And they're trying to get her shoes on for her. And he comes in, he goes, we're late. Tigerlily, she's always late. And in his talking head, he goes, listen, it's not okay to leave 200 people waiting, but I'm so lucky to have her as my wife, this beautiful woman. So it's okay. It's okay.
This was your fault that you were late.
And he wasn't listening when they were like, dude. And Shay was like, you should let her get ready first because you literally you have 3 people putting your pants on. We don't know what that's about. We'll address it later. We'll address it later.
But we don't have time.
No. So then she says, Adnan is the love of my life. And if the love is there, nothing is a deal breaker. Like if I found out that like he was a serial killer, like as long as he didn't turn me into a skin suit, that would be okay. But we would just find a way to stop his serial killing because I love him. What are you talking about, you lunatic?
The other people that he's killed and the families that miss their loved ones or want to know where their bodies are buried. That's not really my concern because I would love him and he's so much hotter than my ex-husband. And so it's fine. Just don't kill any more people, maybe.
Just like from this point forward, can we just not kill people? Okay. So at the wedding, we see the dancers are going and everything. And then the 2 of them come out on the stage with the screens all behind them and there's fireworks going off. And as they walk out, he has a cigar in one hand and he's like beckoning to the crowd with his other hand.
This is his like.
What was happening?
I don't know. I'm trying to picture like what has he watched? Like he's watched like music videos with like rap stars in it or like Jay-Z performing or something like that. Like like Kanye at like a, you know what I'm saying? Like
yes,
performing at like of the VMAs or something.
Yeah,
I think that's what he's living. That's his moment right now.
He's like, this is my music video. That's why he's got the videographers there. He's beckoning to the crowd and there are fireworks going off everywhere. And we keep seeing like aerial shots.
No clue where she is.
No.
Like he's not like constantly like looking to make sure she's okay.
No. Mm-mm. No, no, no.
She's not even
So
smiling. She's so overwhelmed by this.
he really thinks, I think he thinks this is what she wants because she's used
Mhm.
to this expensive American lifestyle.
But she's also very shy, and
She's
she
mm,
doesn't know any of these people and what's happening.
no, she has nobody to talk to. So he's like, so then we are reminded, like in weddings, the men and women can't dance together because, the women could look attractive and the men can't control themselves. The men would be jealous and be touching, and that can't happen. So the men dance over here, the women dance over here. And then, and they're talking head together. He says, it's the wedding is a festival of Adnan. And she goes, shouldn't it be for the festival of Adnan and Tigerlily? And he goes, no, it's just for the man. She's like, hmm. So Cruz is having the time of his life. He is
That
so happy that he came to Jordan.
that was adorable.
He was leading the conga line.
He doesn't
He
know any of these people,
uh-uh.
and he's just like, you throw him in, like, he's a great guest to have if you ever have, like, 2 groups of friends and no one knows each other and it's gonna
Yeah.
be awkward, like, bring Cruz in because he will just bring everyone together, doesn't matter if they even speak the same language.
It was great.
Yeah.
He was having the best time. And so over in the Talking Head, Cruz and Shay are together. And like, it is such a fun day. Like, this is like a huge, outrageous wedding. And maybe now I'm kind of seeing their connection. But, whatever. It's a badass wedding, even if the relationship doesn't last. And then he
Even
runs off.
if he keeps her trapped in a castle in Jordan and doesn't let her leave and hides her passport and never lets her see another man or even her children for the rest of her life, we got to go to this bomb-ass wedding.
Yeah. And then you're wondering too, like, are they drinking at this wedding?
That's a good yeah.
Because Cruz looked like he'd had a few.
Well,
Um,
we've seen with, Veah and s7e, like, s7e seems to follow his own set of
yeah.
rules in the
But he
Muslim
probably wouldn't at
religion.
his wedding if his parents were there. He wouldn't.
Right.
But like his
I
mom doesn't fully cover her hair. So like we don't know
right.
what's happening. Yeah.
I did love that literally as he was dancing, one of his brothers, probably his favorite brother, comes up and pats his forehead with a handkerchief. Like he has people attending to him.
Yes, he does. This is what he's been dreaming of his whole life.
Yeah.
Not necessarily her, but like this
No.
moment, this moment. This is
Well,
his
it
shining
only
moment.
matters that she looks amazing because she's the prop
Yes, that's right.
in his music video.
Yeah. Yes, you're in this music video. Let's go to Brian and Ingrid.
Oh, this guy.
This guy.
Why
Not
do
as
I
bad
have
as Loren, but still pretty bad.
but still pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so she is mad because he lied about his past. He's mad that she judged his past so much. He thinks it shows a lack of character and compassion on her end that she's mad,
Okay.
which is good gaslighting there.
It's so
And
much gaslighting on this show. It's like I'm
yeah,
gonna start believing all these people's bullshit.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they did sleep in the same bed, but with their backs to each other, which is better than his naked catheter rubbing up against her on the first night that they met. I'm sorry, that was so inappropriate. He was fully naked.
Yes, he was. And yes, he was. And he was like, I gotta get a half chub so I can strap this catheter. Yes, it's all disgusting. He's
So,
disgusting.
they go to this acai place, which looked delicious, and
Mhm.
she gets a giant sundae because she can eat a giant sundae and wear that,
Yeah.
like, little dress that she's wearing.
She's eating her feelings, let's be honest.
She is
Mhm.
shoving that sundae down and not even looking at him. Like,
Yep.
I can't eat when I'm having, like, intense conversations.
No, I really can't either. And I really can't enjoy it. And then I'm mad because I got something I really wanted to enjoy. And then I'm like, I didn't
Yes.
get to enjoy this quesadilla because we had to have a fight. And I really am
Uh-huh.
mad that I'm not going to remember the deliciousness of this
Yes.
quesadilla. Yeah.
Now, if other people were fighting and I was watching them fight, I could totally enjoy my food.
Me too. Dinner theater. Love it.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So, she is also did you notice that she paid? Or she was gonna pay?
No, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, she pulled out her money to pay. And
Huh.
I was like, "Huh."
Hmm.
I don't not that I think the man always has to pay. I was interested in that. Like, he's the visitor, so maybe that's why.
Yeah.
But also
Mm.
she's very pissed at him, so I think he should be paying.
Yeah. That was weird. I agree.
So he says, "You know what? You hurt me when you said that I might still be selling drugs if I could walk. And so she's like, I'm sorry if that hurt you. Eat Sunday, Sunday. Don't look at him. And he says, I understand that this is a lot. I still want to go meet your son. And she's like, I'm not sure. I need to think about it. And eating my feelings. And then she's like, I need more time. And then they leave the place and she's like, that whole meal, as I was eating my feelings, thought he was going to apologize.
Mhm.
That's why she was like not looking at him, because she was like, she thought he was going to apologize. And then he started the conversation by saying, I'm mad at you.
Right. Yeah.
And so she's like, this is so messed up. So, and then she wound up apologizing.
Right. Because she said one thing that was hurtful, but
Right.
like their
The
whole relationship was a lie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, and he never apologized. She wound up apologizing because he's a gaslighter. So later on, he decides, like, she's at her house with her son, and he's like, I'm worried I'm not with her. She could be thinking that she wants to break up with me right now. I need to be there so I can control her emotions.
Yes.
And so he decides he's going to go get some apology flowers, even though she asked for space. But he wants to go to her house. So he shows up outside of her house with some roses, and she sounds so weirded out that he's there. Like, he calls her and he's like, can you come out? And she's like, you're here? Oh my God.
You're right outside? What a weirdo. Yeah.
But she melts when she sees the roses because she really likes roses. Okay. So
It would take more than that for me, dog.
way
But
more.
that's all right. Yeah.
So he brought also something for her son, and like a toy for her son. And so she says, okay, you can come in. She's won over at this point.
But she has 2 kids though.
We're only seeing Arthur.
The little one.
Right. Oh, she has a baby though.
No.
No, Arthur is the baby.
Arthur is the baby because there's like a 11-year-old and then like a 4-year-old or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she believes, she said she's been thinking about it. She believes people should get second chances, and he's changed his life, turned his life around. So let's give him a second chance. But the front of her house is all torn up and rough, like dirt roads and like this step situation. But she kind of helps him get inside. Her son is very cute. He's 2.
She almost dumps him into the dirt, which was kind of funny.
I mean, I wouldn't have minded.
Yeah,
if he
I wouldn't
face
either.
planted,
But then I didn't want her to have to pick him up.
No. So, I have a dog here. So
I hear that.
Sorry. So he gives the son this remote control car, and she's like, Uncle Brian brought you a car. And I was like, oh God, at least it's not daddy. Your new daddy brought you a car.
Your new dad.
Yeah. So she's very charmed because he seems to be good with children. But hello, Ginger, please stop. So that doesn't erase what he did. She's still upset, and she thinks they have a long road to get past it. But she kind of kisses him goodbye and says thank you. But every time she kisses him, she makes this face like she's kissing like a creepy old aunt at a family reunion that smells like onions. Like, she never looks like she wants to kiss him. I think she's just not attracted to him and not into him.
First of all, when he talks Portuguese, I find him attractive. I do.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I think he's attractive, and I think the accent and all that is cute. It's his help me with the word.
Personality?
Yeah, that, but he's like entitled. I feel like he feels very entitled and feels very like, I'm the man, you're the woman, and this is how it is.
Yeah.
It's just something about his feeling of, I don't know, he's just smarmy. I just don't like him.
Well, his whole history, which we still don't know how much he knows, is smarmy. Like, that's the definition of smarmy. All of these wives, all of these Brazilian engagements that are failed. Like,
does she? I mean, and from our understanding, when they're shooting this show, he is married to somebody else.
Right.
Does she even know that?
She knows. Yeah.
And why didn't his daughter in the car go, how are you going to get engaged when you're married to somebody else, you dummy?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's sick of him. She's happy every time he goes to Brazil.
I know.
Okay. Let us move on, and we will end with Sunny and Veah. And she's
We're
packing.
not doing Renee and Chidi?
Oh, yeah, we are. We're going to end with Renee and Chidi. Sorry. So Sunny, sorry, because they're like at the bottom in red, because I put your people in red and mine are in black, and
Oh, smart.
sorry. So it wouldn't be like me. It would be like me to completely skip an entire
That
couple,
has
but
happened before.
it has happened, but not this
Yep.
week. Sunny and Veah. So she's packing. She's talking about how she's underprepared. She's overwhelmed. She's got anxiety and she misses her dog. I'm also imagining. And, this flight, all this change in her life is like making her nervous and she's crying. And I was like, you should have packed before today, you dummy.
Yeah.
So also, every time they say she's 27, I'm like, really?
Yeah. What do you think?
37.
Yeah.
I don't know what it
I
is
think
about her.
just
She's just old
life has been
soul.
hard on her, or
Yeah.
she hasn't worn any sunscreen ever.
And also, she just has huge fake lashes, which are not the look. It'll make you look older, I guess, in this case. I don't know.
I did like her jumpsuit, her pink jumpsuit in her hero shot. It's very like Golden Girls, but it's like I feel like that's coming back now.
Yeah. Was it one shoulder?
It was
Yeah.
no, I wish it was. It was like big
Okay.
sleeves and pink
Oh,
and kind of shiny, and I thought it
okay.
was kind of fun. Like I could never pull it off, but
I'll have to look.
yeah,
I'm thinking of something else she wore that was one shoulder. She's got a rockin' bod.
yeah.
Most physical therapists do, by the way. So, she's crying. Okay, so she goes to pick up Rory and she's like, just having him with me makes me feel very comfortable because, we're very close and he really understands me. And hopefully when I get there with this guy after 36 hours of travel, Sunny will understand why I just didn't tell him this one tiny thing.
A
So
whole person. It's a whole
she's
person.
she says, her plan is for they're gonna get there, and then she'll go out and meet with Sunny, and Rory's gonna go to the hotel. And then once she's with Sunny, maybe after they've, had the sex, she will explain to him that Rory is there with her.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
It's not a bad idea to
Make
get
him
him out.
very happy with the
Y
sex first,
yeah, mhm,
and
yeah.
then in the afterglow.
Guess what? Surprise.
Mhm.
Is that a knock at the door I hear?
Rory just comes out. He's, like, been hiding behind, like, the mini
No,
bar the whole
no,
time. "Hi,
too
guys."
dark. What if it's just like, "I didn't know who Rory was coming. Rory, what are you doing here?"
What are the freaking odds that we're just that good of friends that he, like, happened to
He
vacation here
he
at the
was fake
same time?
He was in Durban, I was in Durban.
Yeah.
So, and then she says to Rory, I think he's gonna propose. And Rory goes, "What?" And she goes, "Yeah, I'm hoping this whole, like, you being there won't be like a setback to that. I want him to propose. I mean, he's hinted that he's going to." And Rory goes, "That's kinda soon, don't you think?" And she goes, "No, we've been talking online for a year." He goes, "Yeah, online for a year. Yeah, that's a dude from the internet." And, he goes, "Look, I'm all about dumb decisions, but damn, this is really a dumb decision. This is really
Yeah.
too soon." So Veah and Rory get on the plane and she's doing a blow by blow. Like, here we are, we found our seats. And they get in their seats. And then she's like, "I'm wondering if this is a bad decision for me to bring Rory. Like, I haven't told him about it. I'm wondering if they'll fight the whole time. Oh, well, we're on the plane."
It's like people on the show just think that something might be a bad decision as they're making the decision. But
As
it's
they're
never
doubling down.
before. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's never before when people are warning them that this would be a bad decision.
Yeah. They
It's
just
always, like,
double
right before.
They double down and then they're like, "Maybe I should have
But I'm
followed
gonna
that
do it anyway.
feeling.
Yeah.
You know what? Forget it."
Yeah.
So, um, in the talking head, Sunny says, "I'm so happy she's coming and she's going to be here for 3 weeks. It's going to be amazing." So when she first gets here, because I have a roommate, we're going to go to a hotel and he's doing what everybody on this show does, rose petals on the bed.
Yeah.
And he goes, "I mean, I've only ever had one girlfriend. My first kiss was when I was 21. And he has brought her favorite flowers, which is black roses, which
How do they do that?
I don't think that's found in nature. I think they're dyed, and I don't like that.
I mean, I do like, at the grocery store, they have those rainbow flowers, like those rainbow roses. I do, and you cut the stem and
Yeah?
then you put food coloring and then it soaks up. But I don't know if that's how they do black roses or if they just like dip them.
I don't like any of what you just said.
I
I think
think it's kind of cool. You've never seen the rainbow roses? They're very fun.
are we talking about, like, roses that they, like, spray paint with, like, sparkles at the grocery
No,
store?
no, I'm telling you, and I've made them before. It's like as a science project, but I
Yeah?
think that my friend and I were doing it. You literally, like, can split the stem in half and you
Uh-huh.
put two types of food coloring in two different cups, and it
Okay.
soaks them up, and it like turns the color of the rose of the petal.
Okay. Well, that's kind of cool.
But
But
I
then it
don't
probably
know if
doesn't
that's
last
how.
very long if you've split the stem and you're not giving it water. And
Here, look at these. You've never
I,
seen these?
I don't like any of this. No, I haven't seen that, and I feel like it would make me sad.
Oh, okay. I mean, in general, cut flowers make me sad because
Okay.
they're gonna start smelling and you're gonna have to throw them away, and then your trash stinks, and then it's
Yeah,
just more
yeah.
work for everyone, like, that you give it to.
My husband loves to send flowers. It's like his favorite thing in the world.
Oh,
And I am always like, okay, something for me to take care
yeah, it is,
of.
it's more work.
Um,
Oh, who had that bit, that one comedian, he's like, "It's very much like, this is a gift I'm going to give you that's going to die, just
yeah.
like you will someday." It's almost like a warning, like, "These will die in 24 hours, and so will you."
It's also like if you bring him to a party and then the host of the party's gotta go, like, find a vase, find a
Yeah,
yeah.
way more work.
And I think he's finally learned that when somebody gives me flowers, I don't want any lilies in the bunch because I think lilies stink so bad. And I know a lot like, my husband thinks they smell great. I think it's just, like, the same with, like, some people think cilantro tastes like soap.
Right,
It's
yeah.
something in me. I think lilies I mean, literally to me, it's like a it's like I'm gonna throw up, like, they smell so bad to me.
You're very, Madonna.
Oh,
Do you know that video?
no?
She's at a press conference and a fan comes up and gives her flowers, and then she's caught on the mic saying, "Ugh, I loathe hydrangeas." And she, like, hands them off to an assistant to get rid of them.
I love hydrangeas.
She
Love.
loathes them,
I
and she
love a
doesn't even care that a fan gave them to her.
I love a big fluffy bunch of white hydrangeas. Oh,
"Yeah,
it's so
that's
pretty.
pretty." No,
I
but
love
she
that.
hates them.
Okay,
What
we
did they do to
digress.
you, Madonna?
We digress. She probably thinks they're beneath her because you could just anybody could grow them in their yard
That's
like me,
exactly
you
what it
know?
is. Yeah.
So, anyway, he's gotten her the black roses. We digress on that. So,
Yeah.
um, Veah lands in South Africa. She's been traveling for 36 hours and she's kind of like, freaking out. She's trying to think of ways to hide Rory. Like, there's glass right there. If you hide over here, like, let me go out first. Nope, you got to hide. Oh, he can see us. Oh, she's panicked.
It was
And so,
like a like Pink Panther movie, like something with a lot of physical comedy, like, it really was,
yeah.
like, pushing, hiding, and, like, the music should have been very, like, quirky, like, "Do, do, 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 do," you know?
I mean, would he in the airport just see this guy and be like, that's Rory? Or if he would just, he's looking for her in the crowd. He's not looking at everybody else in the crowd, you
No,
know?
I mean, he has connected with Rory on Instagram because Rory left those messages, so he
Mhm.
probably knows what Rory looks like, and also there aren't probably that many, like, white tourists that are coming maybe from that plane. I bet there are a lot of white tourists coming from
Yeah.
that plane, but, I think this is just why didn't you had the whole flight to think of this,
Yeah.
to plan what to do.
Yeah. I agree. So he texted her to say, I'm there waiting for you. And she's like crying and she's laughing and she's panicking. She's up, she's down, she's all over. And then she's just trying to figure out a way for Sunny not to see Rory through the glass doors. And that's where we end with them.
Shove him in the bathroom, have
Yeah.
him do a Darcy, and
Yeah.
just, like
Go in there and fix your pits and we'll see you in a
yeah,
couple hours.
yeah, I'm surprised she didn't do something horrific like blackface, like,
I can't
some sort
believe
of horrible, like or, like, a mustache with the fake glasses and the fake nose,
that would
like
be better.
yeah.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think our shrubbery idea was the way to go.
Yeah,
Just
just
hide
carry around.
a
Tink, tink,
huge
tink, tink, tink.
plant.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Alright, let's end it with Renee and Chidi.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
Okay.
and by the way, I can't wait for next week because I think Sister Victoria is gonna slap her down. Not
Gonna
not
pop off.
literally, but mentally, and I like
Yeah.
it.
Well, because in the previews for this season, we've seen drama. Renee, like, grabs her suitcases and she's screaming like a maniac and she storms off.
Yeah,
And each fight they have, we think, "Is this the one?"
yeah,
And then it hasn't been. But next week, I think it might be? I don't
hopefully,
know. I don't know how
hopefully.
long in the season she lasts. So that
I
could have
don't
been
either.
that could be a fake out too.
Yeah.
So, in their new hero shots, she hands him his sunglasses and then he puts them on, but they're looking very pissed. It's very strange.
Yeah.
It's like, "Here's your sunglasses." Like, It's very weird.
She
So
always looks pissed. She
yeah,
hardly ever. By
yeah.
the way, this week they had a lot of close-ups of her face, and I was like, she does look like an alien. She has really big eyes, and then the
Mhm.
bottom of her face is very thin.
Okay,
I'm
there
on
we
board with this
go.
theory. I am.
Mhm. So they go to these gardens and he's like trying to warm her up because she's still mad that he's celibate. And he's like, your beauty radiates the whole atmosphere and gives me light. And she goes, okay.
Wow. Don't
Uh
trip.
yeah.
You don't trip.
Yeah. She's not even getting all horned up, like guiding him as he's
No.
walking, which is like
Mm-mm.
her dream was to guide a blind person around. That's all
Yeah.
she wanted. And she's not even excited.
No.
So, but then she sees some fish, and fish are like second to chickens, I guess, because she's
Yeah.
like, fishies, oh my God. Now she's a little happy. And then he says, these fish can't survive without water, and that would be my life without you. And then she's like, oh, okay. That was sweet. And she says, I do still love him, despite how misguided he is by his faith. She's so judgy.
Yeah.
She's like, I have nailed the conspiracies of the universe, and he is still a sheep going along with this religion thing.
She's got to open his eyes. She's
Yeah,
got to open his eyes.
that's
Yeah.
her duty. So she says, I'm sorry for getting a little angry at the market.
She literally said to his sister, I'm about to get freaking violent.
But what's so interesting is that's not what she's apologizing for. She's
No.
apologizing for what's happening later when they were sitting on the bench and he said he was celibate. And she
Right.
just had that quiet, seething, flared nostrils thing, like she was going to devour him.
Yeah.
Like, but that's what she's apologizing for. She's not at all apologizing for threatening the lives of his sister and that poor guy who was selling the chickens, because I don't think she even remembers that. I think she was maybe blacked out for that whole thing. She's like, what chickens? What are you talking about?" I don't think she knows that happened. She was
Yeah, but
instantly
she
red.
also she doesn't see anything wrong with that behavior either because
No.
in her mind, she's protecting the chickens, even though she's fine with eating chicken.
I'm so glad that I wasn't the only one, like, that everyone was like, "She's not a vegetarian." I
Yeah,
thought part of, like, my vegetarianness was clouding my judgment on it, but
right.
it wasn't. Everyone, all of your listeners were like, "How is she not a
She
vegetarian?"
It makes no sense that she's that mad about it.
Yeah,
No, listen, I don't wanna see anybody grab a chicken and kill it in front of me either. I
yeah,
don't. But there was a solution there, which was either get one that's already killed or maybe next time don't go to the market so you don't have to know.
yeah.
Yeah.
So she says, I wasn't looking for sex. I wanted to be alone with you and cuddle. I just want like affection because I've never had that before, but I respect your decision. I'll be waiting." And so it wasn't this sex thing that caused her to freak out, the previews. This is where I got like annoyed. I thought it was the sex thing. No. So
But
then he says,
he's giving her affection.
he really is, but it's not
Yeah.
enough. I just think her old relationships were so damaging to her and made her so self-conscious. She said she never got kissing and like hand holding on the couch, like nothing. I think that her guys that fathered her children were just like, I'm gonna put it in and
Yeah.
then like bye. Like, I don't know. So he says, I understand that it was a shock because we did talk about sex a lot and I made you a lot of promises about sex. And she says, are you ashamed that you said all that stuff to me? And he says, no, I was a different person then and people change and I found God. And so,
Mm.
he should have told her that he found God.
No, I think this is convenient because like we s like his sister has gone on Instagram and said they did date for like 3 years and then they broke up and then they got the show. And she sort of made him do the show. So he was like, "Oh, in that," I think his excuse is, "In that time we weren't talking,
I found
I made
God.
a vow to God, but really it's just because I'm scared you're going to eat me." Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay. But did the sister say why they broke up?
Because she cray? I don't know.
Yeah. So, but this is the first time they met in person.
Mhm. Yes.
Okay. So he says, I just want to wait until the right time, which I think will be soon. I'm gonna keep telling you that.
Mhm.
So she's like, that's fine. I just want more affection. And he promises he'll give her more affection. And everything is going good for like a day. He takes her to an animal sanctuary and he's trying to describe what he sees. And like he gets most of the experience from his other senses.
Yeah.
And she's being the guide. And then she lets him walk right into like a log. He's
I
like, ow.
w
She's like,
When they got to that edge of that koi pond or whatever, she didn't say like, "Hey,
hey,
stop." She let him like I mean, he could have very easily
yeah,
just flipped right in.
she's new at this, Mary Payne. She's
Yeah.
just learning
Yeah.
how to be a guide. And then there's a monkey, and she's so excited. I wanna pet that monkey too. She's petting the monkey, and then she goes, "Oh, like, this is a chunky guy or something." She body shames the monkey, and then the monkey, like, goes after her. He, like, swats at her, and I thought he was gonna bite her, and she freaks out.
Well, those monkeys are aggressive at those places,
They don't wanna be body shamed either. That's a
and they don't wanna
size
be body
beautiful
shamed.
monkey, so shut up.
Also, if you're not gonna bring me some snacks, shut up.
Shut up.
Yeah.
So she says, let's talk more about when that apple hit you on the head, like Isaac Newton, and you
Mhm.
lost your sight. And he
Mhm.
explains it's an even weirder story than we thought it was. So this apple fell on his eye and it was painful, but nothing happened. He could see fine for a year. And then a year hit, and then he developed glaucoma and he lost his sight. And he's not sure if the apple actually is what did it.
Right.
Like the apple hurt something that slowly took a year to develop, unsure.
Yeah.
So they told him they couldn't fix it. And then because he was sight impaired, he tripped and he fell on his other eye and they couldn't fix that either. And she
Yeah.
says, "If I could pay for surgery that would make you see again, I would." Which is a total lie because she loves that he's blind and she said it many times.
But they don't even know if there is I mean, they don't even know if there is a surgery. I mean, he is in Lagos, and that is a big city, but and his family does seem to have money, so they
Yeah,
probably do have access to doctors. They're not like in the middle of a village where they wouldn't have access to
right.
an eye doctor.
Yeah.
So I do wonder about this eye situation and maybe when and if this is, if these seasons last for 6 years. So, next February or whenever this series is over and a talking head, I wish we could like get more information.
I
Although I doubt
would love
Sean will
to just,
ask.
like, have him evaluated by, like, some other doctors
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
see if there's something that they could do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, he says he's talking about and he's, like, accepted it and he's okay with it. But she says, "Do you believe you became blind for a spiritual reason?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" And she says, "Because if you could see, then I wouldn't be here." Because I was too self-conscious to, like, let a man be with me, and then when I found out you were blind, I was so excited and thought, "Oh, this is the one. He's the one because I don't have to worry about what I look like."
But she
So
was sending him ass pictures when she thought he could see.
right,
So I'm not sure about that, Renee.
right. So, and he says so she's like, "I think this is so we could be together. I think you lost your sight so that the universe could have us be in love."
Okay.
And
It's a
she
stretch.
says, "I mean, what are the odds? Like, how you lost your sight was so strange," which I agree, it was very strange, and we've all been smacked in the face, and we didn't all go blind. So why did it happen to you?
Yeah.
Twice,
Yeah.
twice. She said, "That's God that did that. That's that so we could be in love." And he's like, okay."
It's a stretch. It's a
Um,
stretch.
and then he tells us, "Yeah, that's kind of outlandish and actually kind of insulting that she thinks I went blind for a purpose."
Mhm.
Um, that's like if your child has cancer and someone's like, "Well, it's all for a greater good," or something.
Right.
Like, that's not helpful. That no one wants to hear that. Yeah,
Right.
it's all
Agreed.
part of a plan. Like, my child got cancer because I planned. So he's like, "I mean, you're hot, maybe, and I like you, but like, I don't think I wanted to go blind so that I could meet you." Like,
Right. I could probably meet some other girls. Yeah.
exactly. So he goes, sometimes it seems like she lives in an alternative reality, and
Yeah.
it makes me concerned that this is person is going to be my future. Like
Uh-huh.
going to build a life with a person who thinks like this,
Yeah. That's right.
which is very smart.
Yeah. Yeah. Next week on Before the 90 Days,
Oh
Ingrid and
boy.
Ingrid and Brian, they appear to be at some kind of vacation house or something, and he's sitting in a chair with I don't know, she sits in his lap
I did not
and
like that. When she sat in his lap, I was like, "Oh no, are you now falling for it,
I think
Ingrid?
so. Yeah. And he tells her, listen, my story is not only that I was a drug dealer, there is another side to the story.
Do you know what it is?"
Uh, is he gonna tell the whole thing about like it was his ex-wife and it was a new wife and all that?
No, I think it's more about the carjacking and the drugs, isn't it?
What did I can't remember what he told her. Did he act like it was like a random occurrence or did
No,
he
no,
say that it was his ex-wife?
he said my ex-wife admitted that she planned the carjacking. Now, I
Okay.
still don't totally understand if she had wanted him to get shot or if
Mhm.
she had just wanted his car stolen as revenge, and then he got shot accidentally because
Yeah.
he went for the gun, which is
Yeah.
I don't think she planned for him to get shot.
So I don't know what the other side of the story is. I mean, like, how much worse can it get? For
That
real.
that's what I like. Have other people died, like, because of
Oh,
his drug
probably.
dealing?
Probably.
Like,
Yeah, probably. So then we see Lauren, who's being real weird, smiling, talking to his friend. Is her name Ethel? I couldn't remember what her name was.
oh, yeah, is it the girl that he used to date
Yeah,
that's, like, his best friend now?
yeah. Her name was
Yeah,
like Ethel or
something like that.
Agatha or
Or
something like that.
Hazel or something.
It's like
Yeah,
an old lady kind of name.
yeah. Those are
So
in now.
I know it's in now.
Yeah.
So Lauren smiles and is talking to her and is like, yeah, yes, yeah, gonorrhea. Everybody gets it. Am I right?
Food
And
poisoning for your penis, it's the same
everybody
thing.
gets it. And
It's
she
like an
goes,
allergy, it's, like, no big deal.
I mean, what's wrong with Faith? Am I right? With that
Yeah,
girl, huh?
like, she doesn't know, like, 20 other people who have gonorrhea,
I
come
mean,
on.
she knows 6 people that have gonorrhea right now. So
Exactly.
so the friend goes, "So, are you gonna be okay if she says you can't be with other people?" And the talking head Lauren goes, "Look, if you love each other enough, it shouldn't be an issue if you sleep with other people." What is wrong with him?
I was watching Pillow Talk and Armando goes, "It's actually the opposite. If you love
Yeah,
someone enough, you only wanna be with them."
right. He's not
I mean,
well,
I some people are, like, polyamorous or something like
yes,
that,
but
but they have to be with a person who is 100% okay with this
that's not the
and
case here.
upfront and, like, not being lied to and, like,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So Niles and Matilda hug and kiss at the airport, and he says, "Yeah, it's so great to see her. I got to tell her tonight about postponing that wedding." Yeah, 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 yeah. And then we see, I think it's Matilda's brother, but maybe it's a friend, but I think it's the brother. And he says, "Don't hide anything from Matilda. She has a very quick temper." And you see her like, "Ugh." Like,
Don't disappoint me.
don't disappoint me. Vea makes
Is
Rory
he just gonna
hide.
go along with this?
Yeah,
Do
he
you
is.
think he's just gonna go along with the wedding just
I
to
think,
not piss
yeah,
her off?
yeah, I think he is.
Wow.
Vea makes Rory hide in the airport, and he's just like, "I'm going out there." So that's probably what's gonna happen. Um, Renee is talking to Victoria, and she says, "Listen, he and I are soulmates. It is God ordained. Why do you look so angry?" And she tells us, when I look at Victoria, when the glances are exchanged between us, there's a dark energy that just vibrates out of her into me."
Okay,
Okay.
that's BS because this woman was so warm and loving when you
Welcoming.
arrived. She hugged
Yes.
you, she was holding your hand, like,
Yes.
so lovely, but you came in saying that you've had these visions of not getting along with your future sister-in-law, and
Yeah.
it didn't happen in your first 2 relationships, so you're thinking this is the time. So you have this dark energy theory.
So she feels the dark energy vibrating through her body coming from Victoria. Now we see Cruz and Shay and Adnan and Tigerlily and favorite brother Thayer are all getting in the car. And so as they're getting in the car, she says, so you're allowed to shake a girl's hand, but I can't shake Cruz's hand because he shook hands with Shay. And then she kind of walks off. And in the car, they're driving in the car. And she goes, so there are different rules for me. And he
Yes.
goes,
Everyone knows this.
and he goes, no, it's rules. She goes, you made the rules. And he goes, oh, you make me so angry and stressful. So then she gets out of the car somewhere and he goes, it's a big problem if you get out and leave your husband. And in the talking head, she goes, I am feeling completely betrayed because I'm not going to be in a relationship with someone who doesn't respect me. Okay. I don't know if he respects you or not. All I know is he thinks you're like a Barbie that he can dress up. That's all I know.
Also, this is the exact thing that you got divorced over the first time.
Yeah.
But you married this man the first day you met him, and any of this could have if you had waited 48 hours,
Yeah.
you would have found out all of these rules.
Right.
Or a Google, just give it a Google search.
And I don't even think it's the case with him specifically where it's like we cannot be alone in a room together if we're not married because everybody else in his family seems all pretty easy breezy. They don't
Yeah.
seem like super, super strict.
No.
And he's out here walking around with his shirt off and stuff. I mean,
He just wanted to have sex.
he just wanted to have sex.
Yeah.
That's
He was
it.
getting all horned up, getting all those massage treatments.
Yeah. His brother's all talking about how rock hard he was going to be. He got all horned up.
Yeah.
His brother's touching his belt buckle inappropriately. I don't know, guys. Something's real weird in that family.
There's a lot of touching going on.
We also feel that way about On Love After Lockup. Bianca and Daniel and his whole family talks about sex a lot. Like his cousin Sarah seemed to like really be into him and Bianca. And then like we felt like his cousin Robert like wanted to like
Robert the shit stirrer.
We felt like he wanted to like rage fuck Bianca. We're like, oh my God, he hates her, but he's like, oh, I'm gonna
throw
you down.
To rage fuck Daniel. Like he has a crush on Daniel too.
And they all talk about sex. Like in the other car, Bianca and Daniel's family is talking about Bianca and Daniel having sex. And then Bianca and Daniel are talking about how much sex they're going to have. And he's saying things like, I want to paint the walls of your P word.
No.
Yes, that's what he says.
Wait, what?
Yes. I mean, Keisha and I are like, we've heard some things, but we've never heard that. That is beyond. Yes.
The walls
of your P word. Yes.
Oh my God.
Something. Yeah. If you guys want to hear
the
that,
roller?
listen to. No, that's not what he meant.
Yeah.
No.
No. He meant with another kind of prop.
Yeah. If you guys want to hear us talk about that, that's Monday's episode, Love After Lockup with Keisha. Also on YouTube. You guys, we're putting out some of these episodes.
watch it on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way
you could see me fall out of the frame many times.
Yeah.
Because Keisha just, when we start talking about Shantae looking like Arthur, I just can't. I just can't because she really does look like Arthur.
Oh, she's
Arthur, the character, not Arthur with the triangle on his head, and not Arthur,
we love
the baby of Ingrid. Yeah.
I told Katie about Arthur in our last episode that we just recorded. I said there's a guy on Love After Lockup with a tattoo on his forehead that's a triangle. And she goes, is it the Deathly Hallows? And I said, no, he's missing the circle and the wand. But maybe as he collects those 3 items, he's getting them tattooed. So he got the triangle first, which is the invisibility cloak.
Or we think it's either like it's a food pyramid, but it's got like little offshoots of it. Like maybe it's like, but there's no like evil eye in the middle that you would.
Right.
But
it's just like he wants to be in the Illuminati, but like he can't. But it's supposed to be secret if you're in the Illuminati, and he put it on his forehead, so the Illuminati's not going to like that.
Right? No,
I'm gonna say no, bro. That's the exact opposite of what we do.
We're trying to keep it on the DL.
Yeah.
Look what just happened to Puff Daddy. I mean, we don't want that. We don't want that happening to you, Arthur.
Yeah. I love Arthur. I hope he's okay.
I think he got out of prison, so he
did.
Yeah, he got out.
I'm so glad.
But he has charges, so I don't know.
Even though she admitted it was her.
Yeah, he had other charges, but I just want him to go on Project Runway.
I would love that. Well, he needs to learn how to use a sewing machine first.
That would be helpful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if there's a Project Runway for beginners.
You know what would be great is some sort of therapy sewing situation run by Dr. Drew. Like some sort of
I hear you.
Where they all live in a house.
It's like art therapy, but for
Art
people that
therapy,
like to
but it's
sew.
sewing,
Mhm.
exactly. Or like equine therapy.
Mm, interesting. He could sew clothes for the horses. Huh.
Brilliant.
Huh. You guys. Everybody, Kimberly and Katie have a podcast. It's called A Date with Dateline, and I have a bone to pick with Katie, and I
Oh,
picked
is this
it.
still about the Stanley Cup?
I've picked it publicly now.
I
So
know.
if you want to see that, head over to my Instagram at Pink Shade Pod. I was hurt and I was
Sip.
dismayed by Katie's. I was attacked, is what it was. I was attacked, and you tried to put it on Patreon, but I'm a member of your Patreon, so I heard it. And you didn't mention me by name, but I felt it was personal.
The thing is, the whole thing really started over the accessories, but I think the accessories were so much that it made her hate the actual cup, which
Mhm.
she would have had no problem with before the accessories. Once she learned about the fuzzy, like, keychains and the little purse that you can attach to it and,
There are
like,
all sorts of accessories, and I don't understand, like, why you would attach, like, your keys
40
and
pounds
your
of, like
keys and your phone,
yeah,
and then, like, your earrings, and then, like, your AirPod. Why
and,
are you
like, baby
attaching these things
wipes and,
to your
like
cup? Why are
yeah.
you attaching things to your cup? The
Yeah,
cup
and
is
it's
heavy enough
so
by itself.
heavy. Also, if you lose that, then you've lost your entire life, your wallet, your everything.
Yeah, that I
And,
don't
like, a
get.
cover for the straw and, like, little jangly, like, little keychain for the straw, like, to decorate it's
No,
crazy.
no.
And I think that was how it happened, if you want to really I don't think it was personal. I
Felt pretty personal, but it's
yeah.
okay. I
But
do have
I mean, the actual look at I have this is not a Stanley, this is obviously some sort of knockoff, but
yeah.
it keeps my frappuccino cold the entire day.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
enjoy that.
You listen, there's that thing where that girl, her car, caught on fire, and her Stanley Cup was in the cup holder. Ice was still in it. The car was on fire, and her ice and her Stanley Cup was still in there when they pulled it out.
Okay, that's
And
impressive.
she, like, did, like, a video, like, "I went to find my car, that had blown up," and she went to the lot where it was burned out completely, and she pulls her Stanley Cup out of the thing and is like, shakes it, and is like, "There's still ice in here. This is crazy."
They should pay her for that because
They
that should be a
I think
commercial.
they bought her a new car, I think.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was like one of the stories was on TikTok, and it was like the
Okay,
Stanley Cup
that's
people were like, "We'll get you a new
good
car."
promotion for them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
I love my
So
Stanley Cup.
nothing again and you know what? I'm all for people hydrating too.
Yes,
Katie drinks Monster energy drinks and,
that's
like,
right.
Diet Mountain Dew all day long, like, nasty stuff, like,
Yeah.
and the weird flavors, like, that they'll come up with that are, like, sour,
Ew.
gummy bear
Yeah,
Monster drink,
yeah.
like, the weird and
Listen,
she's not one for hydrating and, like, healthy things, so just
I
take that with a grain of salt.
yeah, I'm not gonna put a post about how gross it is to drink Monster energy drinks. I think, do what you want. Put it in your Stanley Cup with some ice, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
live your
Great
life.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, anyway, I got that off my chest.
Did you hear how I just threw her under the bus?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You're like, "Oh, it wasn't me that posted that on Patreon at all." No one ever actually had to know about it. You're in charge of putting
No,
things on
I
Patreon.
am not in charge of editing the episodes, though. I don't even listen to them. She sends them to me, I put them up. I don't listen.
But she told you, "Hey, there's a separate Patreon thing that's just about the Stanley Cup," because that's
No,
all that was about.
she just said there's extra bits. There's some funny, like, conversations, and I'm like, "Okay,
Okay.
great." I put
Mm.
it up. I don't listen.
Does anybody believe this?
I
Um,
swear.
Kimberly, now that Dateline is back, the Olympics are over and Dateline
Yes.
is back. I did see there was on one on this weekend with Andrea. That was on Friday night?
Yes, that was
And
the
this
official first episode of the season. Yeah.
Okay, and you guys are covering that.
Yes. Mhm.
Alright, I'll go find that on my DVR. I saw it
Yeah.
was Andrea, I knew that would make you happy.
Yeah, oh, she looks great. She's gotten a whole new, set of clothes, like, such a cute top with buttons on it.
Yeah?
Love.
She looks great. She got a whole new set of clothes.
I mean, she wears new outfits every time. I think she's only duplicated like once that we've noticed. She's
Well, yeah, that's what
it's a
people
great
do on
wardrobe. And
TV. Yeah.
also, if you write her on Instagram ever and be like, "Where'd you get this dress?" She'll tell you, and like
Oh, I love
all
that.
like fairly reasonable things.
Yeah, I love when people
Yeah.
will if you ask and they'll tell you. I
Yeah.
hate when they won't tell you. You're like, "What don't maybe, like, Google image it and try to
Yeah.
find it," and then it's,
Yeah.
like,
Oh, I got it in
$4,000.
like
Yeah.
a special private shop in Milan. You wouldn't be able to
You
go
wouldn't be
there.
no, just
Yeah.
tell me it's on Amazon. That's all I
Yeah.
need to hear. That's all
Yeah.
I need to hear. Okay, well, that's exciting. Everybody go and find that, wherever you listen to your podcast, and they do herefore to mentioned, have a fun Patreon as well, Supercast. And, are you guys on Apple subscriptions? Are you doing that too?
I am. I'm finally putting it through. I've been working on it for like it's
Yeah,
been a tab on my computer, an open tab for like
something
no
to do.
joke,
Yeah,
18 months
yeah.
probably.
It
Like every
you
I
it's a
it's
commitment. It's a commitment to get it to work.
I've had
Um,
Ingrid like give me tips on it.
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna finally do it.
Okay, everybody, Supercast, Patreon, coming soon to your Apple feed,
Yeah.
A Date with Dateline for your bonus episodes. And same with us, you guys. Tomorrow is the day. Wednesday is the day. Love is Blind, set in my town of DC, is coming. And we misjudged some of these people at first. We thought they were boring, but woo, is it getting spicy.
Oh, I
It's
can't
getting
wait to listen.
real spicy up in there. There's a guy on there that really thinks he's the incarnate of Prince. And we enjoy singing Purple Rain when he comes on, and he is real jazzy.
I love it.
He's real jazzy. So we're enjoying that. We're like, he's gonna turn around, he's gonna have that big symbol with the guitar on the
Yes.
back of his
Yes.
back. We're like, that's gonna be his whole back. It's gonna be a tattoo.
Oh,
We're
I
just
love it.
waiting for him to like admit that obviously he's based his entire look on Prince. We're just waiting.
I love
He
it.
hasn't admitted it yet. And there's one real hot guy on there named Raymond, who we never see again. He's just like in the pod squad. We're like, why didn't Raymond get anybody? He's so hot. But I guess that's the point. Love is blind. Maybe he has a terrible personality.
Yeah. I've never seen the show, but I'm really excited to listen to your
Yeah,
coverage.
you don't have to watch it. Just get your eyeballs on the people that we're talking about so
I'll
you'll know,
definitely
like,
be looking up so I can picture who
picture
you're
what they look
talking about.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, guys, Thursday is Dylan and Pat for Bad TV talking about pop culture. And then, of course, this weekend is Amy Archer. Will be finishing up with Plathville and 90 Day Toe. But guess what? Something else I totally forgot to say, and I'm saying it at the end. I should have
Yeah.
said it at the beginning. On Wednesday, there will be an episode out, a new interview with Olivia Plath.
Oh, yeah.
And she's got a lot to say.
Oh,
She's got a lot to say. That'll be here in the free feed. So everybody go listen to that on Wednesday. I should have said that at the top, but I forgot.
I'm so
And
excited.
don't worry, I'll promote it. Follow me on Instagram. You'll see the reels there. Okay, bye, Kimberly.
Thank you for having me.